how are you? Thanks for stopping by for today's video. My name is Kat. If you're new here, welcome. Today's video is on the book Lovable Lawyer by Karen Deen. This is the fourth book of hers that I've read in this standalone series. I did videos on all of them. I will include them in the description box below, and if I remember, I'm trying to get better about putting them up in the cards. Like I mentioned, this is the fourth book. It's called Lovable Lawyer. The previous books are Gorgeous Gyno, Private Pilot, and Naughty Neuro. It's all around the same group of friends. I have come to adore these guys. Gorgeous Gyno is about Grayson and Tilly. Private Pilot is about Mason and Paige. Naughty Neuro is about Tate and Bella happens to be Grayson's sister. And now we have Lex and Mia. I was actually surprised because this book surprised me in a few ways. And I thought, very good Karen, that somebody that she had mentioned in one of the previous books, that's who I thought we were going to be with in this book. And that's not the case at all. And yet, something else happened in a previous book that I was reminded of when I started reading this book. And that person is actually who we end up seeing involved with Lex. I was really surprised by that. I was so excited to get Lex's book because I feel like we've gotten to know them all as the books have progressed. Like I mentioned, I love these guys. I love the world she built here, Karen built here. And so I was excited to learn more about Lex. He's the quiet one. He's the one that kind of gets stuff done for everybody. Everyone kind of his friends razz him a bunch about his personality. I loved to see the relationship that he had with each of them, and yet he's extra close to Mason and they have a really strong bond, and I loved reading that as well. We start Lovable Lawyer right where I feel the most at home, which is the boys with their Thursday afternoon basketball game. It's a standing tradition for them. It's talked about in all the books. So I felt like we were starting out on the right foot. Lex is a lawyer. He's in his middle to late 30s, I believe. And what we don't really know before until now is that he's in a place where he's successful, he's built his name in his profession, he's got his great friends, he has his life, and yet he's not sure that the life that he's living is the life that he actually wants. He kind of has like an existential crisis a little bit and realizes that he's been groomed in the life that he has lived so far. He had very serious expectations that he was supposed to live up to from his parents and his family. He's an only child. He has a very strained relationship with his parents, grew up with a lot of money, a lot of expectation, like I mentioned, and all of a sudden he's to the point where he's like, this is my life? Is this even what I want? He's not fulfilled. He likes his work, but yet he's good at it. And he's very black and white. That's how he manages his life, in black and white. He's not good in the gray. And I think it's not that he's so much a control freak. He just, because of the way he was raised and where he is in his life, that's where he thrives. He doesn't know if he wants that anymore. He feels the loss of things that he doesn't even know that he should feel the loss of. And I thought it was really interesting. And like I said, there's a person that I thought was going to be the other part to him, and she's not it. And I was kind of glad about that. And then literally Mia falls in his lap. And I was surprised, and I had forgotten, honestly, I'd forgotten about all of that had happened in Private Pilot until all of a sudden it's here on the pages. And I was like, oh, so I hope that's not too much of a spoiler to know that pay attention when you're reading Private Pilot. And if you haven't read Private Pilot, you might get a little bit of a spoiler in this book with what Lex's story is. So I apologize. You know that's never my intention. There is something that happens, and there's part of the story that melts into Lex's story, and it's Mia and her children. Mia, oh my gosh, Mia, I adored her. She is easy to love. I really liked Lex too, don't get me wrong, but there's something I really connected to with Mia, more so throughout the whole book than I did with Lex. She's in her late 30s. She is the mom of 2 kids, little kids, Jack and Kayla. Jack is, I think, 4, she says, and then Kayla's under a year old. Loved every single second we talked about her kids. We heard about her kids. Loved all of that. I'm a mom, so it pulled at my heartstrings a bunch. Mia is not in a good place. She has always been taken advantage of, I guess. Her warm, loving heart has been preyed upon by not nice people. So it's come to a pinnacle point in her life where she kind of gets screwed over again by somebody in her life. And lo and behold, that horrible situation brings her to a really beautiful place. So out of the dark came the light, and she is embraced by this friend group and finds out that her and Paige are family. And I just loved all of that. There were times that I really felt for Lex. I understood what Karen was trying to tell us about him. I do feel like we got to know him. I mean, he is definitely swoony in places, that's for sure. But Karen lost me a little bit in how he treated and was around Mia. In that he really knew that she needed a friend, and he was all for that, and he was surprised at how he felt about her so fast. He's never really had a romantic relationship. Sure, he's had sex and messed around a bunch, but he's never been in love and never felt love from his parents. The closest parental figure he had was like his butler growing up. So it was pretty much insta love with Mia. And I liked that. And I thought, oh, I mean, it was very sweet. But he was so caught up in being the friend that she needed and being in the gray area that is really hard for him, that he kind of got lost for me a little bit. And on the flip side of that, I connected so much to what Mia was going through and understood her and everything that Karen was trying to tell us with her. And I really, like, my heart just connected with her so deeply. And yet there's Lex, and I understood her hesitation. I understood her feeling very overwhelmed at the changes that her life took in a very quick time. And I understood everything. You know, all of a sudden she has a sister, and her sister has all this money, and she's trying to take care of her, and she's like, oh my gosh, but I can't pay you back, and everything that you'll understand when you read the book. And on the flip side of that, with Lex, I wanted more from him. I wanted, for lack of a better word, I kind of wanted him to shit or get off the pot. Because he's so focused on trying to be what she needs and, like, not push her. but all he talks about is how she's the one for him. That I was like, dude, just go for it. She might need that. And the times when I thought he was going to, he held back. And he frustrated me a little bit with that. He handled her with kid gloves, and everybody was warning him about and making sure that he put himself in check, that she was vulnerable. And then there were times where he was like, you needed this, so I went and bought it for you. It's black and white. You needed it. I bought it. That's how I can take care of you. And I got that about him. And I think that in the parts where I was kind of lost and like not sure and not connecting with him as much, that what Karen was trying to show us was all the gray area that he was feeling and the angst between them, but I was having trouble connecting to it. Lex and Mason have a conversation, which just, it was an arrow straight to my heart, not only from Lex's perspective, but from Mason's perspective as well. And it really did help me feel like I knew what Karen was trying to tell us with him. It starts out from Mason. But you need to tell me what the hell that was in there. I don't even know that, Lex, and I've known you a very long time. Shrugging my shoulders at him, I just blurted out, which is normally so out of character for me. I'm normally so calculated with everything I say. To be honest, I don't know, Mace. That Lex is new to me too. Tonight, something just switched the moment she ran from that room. I wanted to wrap her in my arms and protect her with my life. I don't even know her and never laid eyes on her before, yet she is pulling feelings out of me I don't even understand. It must be the craziness of the whole night. I walk away from him towards the window to collect my thoughts. I can feel him now standing next to me. You're right to an extent. Tonight has probably been like no other night you've experienced before, and the same for Mia. The adrenaline rush does funny things to you. I can tell you from years of experience, but I'm going to say this. The sparks that are flying between you two are lighting up the room. Now, that might be just like you said, the craziness of everything, but if it's not, you need to be careful and give her time to breathe. That woman in there has been to hell and back, and then was heading straight into hell again. The last thing she needs is another man in her life that will want to dominate her. She needs to learn to trust first. We're expecting so much of her with so many new people around her, and that she should just accept we're good people. Trusting a friend will be a challenge, but trusting a man will be a huge mountain for her to climb. F off, Mason. I know I could never be the man for her. She needs soft and gentle, someone to treat her like a princess, not an arrogant prick like me who's a grumpy asshole most days, or so you all keep telling me. I can't tell him that my emotions are already scrambled from the week I've just had, because I haven't had that conversation yet. I'm sure tomorrow she'll just be another client that needs my help. So he's helping her every way he can. And it's very overwhelming for her. But she likes him and they have a connection. And a little bit later on, we get this from Mia. Feeling like that little girl again who was scared all the time and just wanted to fit somewhere. I would look up into the sky and wish upon a star that one day someone would love me. 30 years later, and I'm still looking up into the same sky and wishing the same thing. For someone to love me, not because I'm their mom, not because I'm the cash cow for their drinking and gambling habit, and the occasional F if they were lucky. Not because they need to use me to get to Paige, not because they found out I'm their sister, so they feel obligated. To love me because I'm me, just little old broken me, the girl that nobody wants, not even my mom. So why would anybody else? The one person who is supposed to love you no matter what, but she was the first to walk away. I'm trying to tell myself for a good reason, but here, in the dark, at 3 a.m., that doesn't sink in. At 30-something years old, they're both dealing with the demons of their past and meeting at a place in their life where they're like, I believe people meet for a reason, but they're trying to find their way. and I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to find their way together. They danced around each other a lot. There was definitely some swoony moments. It's obvious that they're attracted to each other, but Mia is inexperienced and Lex has never felt the feelings that he's felt before. And then they have the kids to worry about. And you know what? When it comes down to it, when you're a mom and you've got little kids, they come first. And I loved how organically Karen wrote that. Lex understood that. That was definitely points for him. They weren't at the same place in the same time through most of the book. I just wanted to have them still like each other but stay apart until they get to the point where they can't anymore, or be together and grow together. And I wasn't sure how much of that we were going to get. At a point in the book, something happens that you kind of, not that you really see it coming, but you know the other shoe's gonna fall. And that was the time where, after them dancing around each other a lot, I felt like it was a make or break moment for them. I was so mad when that happened. I was really, really mad. Drama. And the person that causes it, you just want to punch in the face. There's a really sweet moment where they're texting each other. Oh my God. They're asking each other a bunch of questions, trying to get to know each other. And they talk about their favorite song. Lex mentions that a Sam Smith song is his favorite song. And then Mia mentions She Used to Be Mine by Sarah Bareilles. I hadn't heard that song before. I know, where am I, under a rock or something here? But I mean, even my daughter came upstairs when I was listening to it. My daughter came upstairs from her e-learning desk area in the basement and was like, wait, why are you listening to that song? I love that song. But I was like, oh my God, it's so sad. And to know Mia and to hear this song, oh my gosh. Oh, it broke my heart. And I was like, that's your favorite song, Mia? We have to change it. We have to give you a way better, happier song at the end of this book. Because, girl, I need you to have a happily ever after. Wasn't sure. At the end of this book, was not sure if we were going to get it. Whoa, was I not sure. Whew. But we do. Let me know if you have read Loveable Lawyer in the comments below, or any of the other previous books. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up. That not only helps me and my channel, but also this video get shown to more people here on YouTube. I welcome you to come over to my social media, which is Cat Reads Romance on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.